Anyway, Trump is currently being inaugurated as president, 47th, haven't been 45th president of the United States. And people seem to be absolutely losing their fucking mind again. So we're back to he's a fascist, it's the end of democracy. Then there's all the British politicians being like, oh, he's an idiot, except for David Lammy, because he now wined and dined him.
Exactly, and other things. Oh, that guy is going to get... Anyway, let's not go into it. But
why do you think people are losing their minds so much? Like, what is it? Like, we've been through this already. Like, we know, okay, you know, he didn't refuse to leave the White House, even after he, like, thought that possibly, that it was rigged, and arguments could be made, mail-in voting, etc. But, like, he still left.
Yeah.
You know? Even if he believed...
He'd come back, he'd be like, just watch me.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I think at that point he was like, well, fuck this, I'm coming back. But I don't think he likes to lose things.
Yeah, he doesn't, and I think he came back in a much more spectacular fashion. Why is everyone losing their minds over Trump? Because I don't think. I mean, look, the thing is, you can have legitimate policy concerns. You can talk about, you know, abortion, women's rights, all of those sorts of things, and I'm not going to refute that because that's generally based on people's, you know, personal political views, and that's fine. That's perfectly legitimate. It's like having reasonable objections to any other politicians that takes his policy views on things. But then there's the Trump as a person, which, you know, people, particularly for his character, should I say defects, feel very strongly about. The whole grab him by the cat and all a bunch of stuff, which is fine, I guess. Like, you can be opposed to that. I don't really have a problem. But I think that there comes a point where you cross the line into, like, genuine derangement. And I think that stems from the fact that, like, you're too obsessed with things outside of your own locus of control. And this is what I don't get. Like, as someone who works, like, sort of within the political broadcasting sphere, who covers politics and stuff like that, I go home and sleep at night thinking of myself and my family and how to better my own life. These people go home thinking, like, orange man bad. Like, do you not go on holiday? Do you not drink with your friends? Do you not go to the gym? Like, what else is there about your life other than getting so worked up by this man that they hear his name and they just turn red in the face? You know, you have people wanting to boycott Oscar de la Renta because he dressed the first lady, even though that brand literally has a reputation of dressing first ladies. That's how it built its popularity. So it's just, I think on a fundamental level, outside of sort of genuine policy concerns, which we all have, of course, get a life. Do something better with yourself. Stop obsessing over someone who literally couldn't care less about you.
It's really the policy they seem to actually, like, disagree with.
I don't think that even, like, a lot of the people that I've heard they're not very cognizant of what the policy proposals are. Like, I just saw on Sky News breaking news: Trump administration declares that there's only two genders, male and female. Are we stupid? How much money has been spent on public education for people not to come up with that basic understanding of biology?
Not enough. Apparently.
It's just, again, like, people be concerned with the fact that, like, sardines are 50p when 3 years ago they were 10p a tin. Be concerned about the price of pasta. Be concerned about things that actually impact your life. Like, these people that are complaining, if their lives get better materially, economically better in the next 3 years, they're not going to say that. Because why would they say that? They're going to be praising the orange man, and we know the orange man is always bad. But it's just, I'm looking at the material impact of these sorts of policy changes or political changes in my life. Not whether, like, I like the person or I don't really care. I don't have to have dinner with them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have serious moral objections to Keir Starmer, and yet I can still manage to not scream. No, I just really the guy is a damn squib of a politician. He has no morals. He has less principles than Tony Blair. He has.
Ooh, that thinks something.
He has no. He cares about nothing.
Ooh, I think he cares. I think he's more of a lawyer than a politician. I think if Diane Abbott, someone like Diane Abbott, who's been in politics for a long time, regardless of what we should think about her politics, if she can roast you by saying you have no feel for politics, and literally everyone in the country can say, "Yep, she's right on the money," you have a big problem.
Yeah, like. Also, he got less votes than Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah.
Both.
And like 3 times the... I mean, it's incredible. 3 times the number of MPs. That's the perversion of our first past the post system. But Keir Starmer has to make a choice. And I think he already has. You know, you either have to choose whether you're going to be a prime minister or you're going to be a lawyer. He's always existed within the framework of having... Okay, here's the thing. Keir Starmer is part of this cohort of the sort of human rights industrial complex, where instead of Parliament being sovereign, they choose to latch themselves on to these treaties that the UK has signed on to, that when they do become part of the political fold, they make it so that Westminster is constrained by these international treaties that we have signed up to, which actually, in the face of any act of Parliament, should be a secondary matter or obsolete, because Parliament is sovereign, not, the court in Brussels or what else, Strasbourg or whatever. But Keir Starmer doesn't believe that. He's such a disciple of this type of thinking and orthodoxy that, for example, you can have a rapist remain in the UK, a foreign rapist remain in the UK, because according to the international human rights, if he goes to his country, he will be at risk of, being shunned by his neighbors for raping. Who would have thought that? But you know what I mean? His thought process is not what's best for the British people, or God forbid, what the British people have actually voted for. His is, how can we use the law to manipulate the political foundations of this country? And that's going to come back to bite him. And people are seeing that more and more. Look at how quickly he fast-tracked those people at the Southport riots. The hundreds of people, he just fast-tracked them through the courts. I was like, I thought prisons had no spaces. You're literally releasing pedophiles and murderers early to make room for people who made rude posts on Facebook.
I did hear that many of those early released people are the people that they're now deporting in what they're claiming to be record numbers, but which might
except they get a human rights lawyer that's going to claim that they might not get their diabetes medication back where they're from. I kid you not, this is the kind of stuff we're hearing. Yeah, no, it's really weirdly just. And I think what you said about him not respecting the international, or respecting the international agreements and frameworks and treaties over Westminster is it was summed up in that clip. And I'm pretty sure this was pre-election when Emily Maitlis asked him, do you prefer Davos or Westminster? And he's like, Davos. Yeah,
and he's
shamelessly.
Yeah, but I don't even understand what sort of apparently savvy political operator thinks that that's the right answer, even if you think, because most of them probably do prefer Davos. The food's better. Because they're relevant. No, but that's the thing. And you can ski outside, Exactly. And people they're how politics is Hollywood for ugly people? That's literally it. Because if you think about it, these are just to be blunt, these are nerds that have been to sort of law school, done the whole barrister stuff, but they're not politically relevant. What this sort of industrial complex we're seeing with these human rights organizations and treaties and stuff like that, it's made these people, these pen pushers, relevant. It's given them political power without the accountability. And that's rooted in their worldview. Their worldview is that Parliament is sovereign because the people are sovereign, and the power the people give to the politicians and Parliament is what should rule us. They think, no, you have to have this extra layer of technocrats that can, read between the lines and really educate the poor, dumb public. His worldview is exactly the same as Peter Mandelson, which is why he wisely made him our US ambassador, who ironically hasn't been invited to Trump's inauguration because... Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, people are Nigel Farage has been invited, but Keir Starmer hasn't. I'm like, hold on, no. Maybe Keir Starmer is busy. Xi Jinping is not going, so fine. Our ambassador's not there. I don't think there's a British, there was a big fight going on Twitter this week about I think Mike Graham was trying to claim that there'd been 4 British prime ministers attended inaugurations. It seems like none of them ever have. None of them have. No, it's kind of like the coronation. So Biden didn't attend the king's coronation. It's kind of like similar. I mean, it's a lot rarer, but it's kind of like... Yeah,
the last time was a long time ago. We had a printed another one.
Well, the last coronation was 2 years ago. So.
No, I mean before that.
Before that, exactly. It was 70 years. But that's not unusual. But it's usually ambassadors. That's literally your only job. Your only job is to represent your country's interests.
And he hasn't been invited.
But the thing is
he there?
Did you say is he dead?
No, is he there?
Oh no, he's not there, and he's not dead. Certainly,
no, I don't think he's dead.
But it's he chose someone whose worldview is the Trump staffers have no time for the Mandelsons of the world. But bear in mind, I don't know why he chose someone who had to resign from cabinet twice. One of which was because he got someone a British passport through his dodgy links. I mean, that's kind of like Banana Republic shit.
Yeah. Is it true that he resigned twice in the space of 3 years?
Yeah, from cabinet. Yeah, he's a shameless political operator.
Oh, there's some lovely photos here of him with Mr. Epstein.
I knew you were going to say that.
Let's see what we've got. There he is with a birthday cake.
Yeah, it's your birthday.
In his flat on his boat.
Like it's your birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, questionable company he keeps.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it's but they all choose the same, like, people with the same think, and they're all in this. And I was talking to Suze Kempner, who is like probably the furthest from your political views that you could find on the last episode, or what will be the next episode, actually, because I'll probably put this out first because inauguration things. She was basically saying the same thing, that we discussed how they're literally in, like, they talk about people being in their like social media bubbles, and how, you know, it's dangerous because, you know, they get their group think and they only hear what one side says, and it's like, those politicians are in the most impenetrable bubble of anyone on the planet, because they literally have no contact with real people.
Well, they don't have any real experience. I mean, I think I'm the person that painstakingly did this, but just so everyone else doesn't, go through the cabinet, go through the people in the cabinet. You can find a list of them.
Is your piece somewhere? I'll find it while you're talking.
90% of them went to either study PPE at Oxford, or English or law at Cambridge, or history at Cambridge. That's 90% of them. Many of them were special advisors in their 20s to leading politicians. Now, in our 20s, we're trying to learn how to not burn pasta. We don't have enough subject matter expertise on anything to be a special advisor to anyone, let alone people making key decisions for this country. Someone like David Lammy had 3 years, count them, 3 years of actual work experience before he dedicated himself to a life in politics by getting elected in the year 2000. Yvette Cooper studied PP at Oxford, became a special advisor at 23 to Harriet Harman. Ed Miliband became a special advisor at 27, also studied PP at Oxford. You have literally this list of, that's the entirety of his cabinet. We're not even going to talk about the Chancellor of the Exchequer, whose career history is...
Rachel from accounts.
I'm not going to go there because apparently that's like...
No, she was, really? Okay. Have fun suing me for that joke.
Apparently, the person who's actually running this country's finances, not a corner shop, mind you.
No, she was so what I understand is that she was a junior analyst for Japan.
Japanese embassy, the Japanese Bank of Japan, I think. That was for a year, 1 year. That was 1 year, like.
And then she worked at the Bank of England in roles undisclosed.
Yes, but apparently she was an economist. Then, like, you don't just walk into an economist role. Like, I know economists. That's not. You have to have like.
Economist, right? But having spoken to one of like the world's leading, Steve Keen, Dr. Steve Keen, you know his word?
No.
Okay. Really quite a famous economist.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, modern economists don't understand the world or the economy. Hey everyone, thanks for making it right the way to the end of the podcast. I love that you tuned in this long. Do me a favor, hit subscribe, because 80% of you bastards are not subscribing, but you're watching my videos. See you next time.